Thank you all for sending in your questions for this edition of Q&A. If you guys have questions for me, the description box is down below with all the details on how you can send in questions. Snowdrop asks, do you think any divas or knockouts are possibly gay? Nah, none of them really scream that they're lesbian. There's not really enough proof to prove some of them are lesbians who have the lesbian rumor attached to them. So, no, I don't think so. Because like pretty much most of the divas and the knockouts, we know who they're dating. And the ones that we don't, it's kind of just like they're most likely single, but they could be dating someone. They just don't really unleash it to the world. So, yeah, that could just be that's just it for me. I don't think any one of them is lesbian. Jade, and I know a lot of people are going to be like Rosa Mendes on Total Divas. Please, Total Divas is scripted. It's a reality TV show. All reality TV is scripted. It's written. That was just written into a storyline. They want to try to find something interesting to do with Rosa Mendes' character onto the TV show. J. Jonah Jameson asks, thoughts on Heath Slater and Corinne Oliver situation, and if you think Heath Slater is innocent or guilty. Does Heath Slater have to choke a bitch? Hey, Heath, don't mess with Oliver's, man. We get our shit at the end of the day. That'd be funny if I was related to that Corinne Oliver somehow. Somehow, some way, we're like cousins or some shit. Hey, you never know. It's a small world after all. I think he's innocent. I mean, really. The story just doesn't add up to me. It's just like a bunch of... You hear stories about WWE superstars, and they help each other out during these terrible situations. And I've heard stories of, like, JBL throwing off guys because they were trying to beat up women or freaking rape women. Like, I've heard stories of Benoit doing that to guys, too. Like, they don't... like, if you're a WWE superstar, you know, like, that shit doesn't fly. Like, you don't do that shit to women. So, why would a bunch of WWE superstars just let Heath Slater keep doing this to a woman? And like what? Did they think like Heath Slater was just joking around or something? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure a bunch of WWE superstars who are all like fucking 6'5", in some cases 5'8", 6 foot, would have said, "Hey Heath, get the fuck off of her." And he's like, "No, man, I gotta go fucking rape her." And they would just be like, "No, you're not. You're gonna get the fuck off of her because I don't want to get in trouble just because I'm associated with your dumb ass." So I don't believe it whatsoever. I think he's innocent. Firefly asks, what if Eric Rowan performed at Red Arrow? Doesn't matter what Eric Rowan does. So what? He performed a Red Arrow. I don't even think it's possible for him to perform a Red Arrow. Yeah, no, fuck that. It'd be garbage anyways. It would suck. Be like the worst Red Arrow ever. Ryan Davis asks, what if during the Best of TNA episode, they show the August vs. Ronin clip, the camera fades back to a monitor playing the clip of Tito Ortiz with his arms crossed, and pans over to a Tito Ortiz with his arms crossed, looking over at Tito Ortiz with his arms crossed. That's Tito Inception. It's Tito Ortiz. No one gives a fucking shit, and then Tito goes and looks into the camera. And he just nods for no reason. Yes. Be fucking awesome. Tito Inception. Bill Bradford asks, do you think a racing gimmick would work into WWE? No. Look at what they try to do in WCW with those racing tag teams. I can't even remember their fucking names, but those guys. Look at Bob Holly. He didn't work for Bob Holly, did he, when he was a freaking racing gimmick? So no, I don't think a racing gimmick would work in WWE at all. I mean, maybe if you did a racer gimmick where it was like fucking like someone that was like Danica Patrick hot, like a girl, maybe that'd be kind of cool and interesting. She's like a thrill seeker. She's someone that like loves stuff to the extreme type of deal. You could do someone like that. Maybe a girl that can actually perform high flying moves. Maybe someone that's like on the Bush level, you know, like Kyle and Kurt Busch, where they get angry all the time. So maybe you did someone that's just like them. Pretty much like Hardcore Holly, but more angrier. So, yeah, maybe. I don't think it would work, though. Redwood316 asks, hey, Chase, are you into Star Wars? If so, are you going to watch Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens? Yes, I'm into Star Wars. I find Star Wars very interesting. Will I watch The Force Awakens? Yeah, I will. Will I see it opening weekend? I don't know, because that type of movie... that movie's going to be so packed. And for me personally, I'm one of those guys that don't like to go to like really, really packed houses. I like to go to, like, there's certain movies where I'm like, okay, I have to fucking see that on the weekend. But for Star Wars, it's like going to be so packed and it's going to be so hard to get fucking tickets. Especially for me in California where I live. You know, I live right by LA, so it's going to be fucking annoying to try to just get to the movie theaters. So I would probably have to say I will see it, but probably not opening weekend. Maybe like the week after opening weekend. It will still be crowded, but not as crowded as opening weekend. Clarkson Lopez asks, do you think Vince McMahon needs to step down as chairman of the WWE? Not chairman, just step down from the shows. Because if he steps down as chairman, oh, fuck, WWE will be dead. Don't forget, Clarkson, who still has all the fucking money? It's not Triple H with all that money in the bank account. It's Vince, damn it. He stepped down as chairman. Whoa. But being a CEO and being whatever the fuck he else does for TV and shit, yeah, step down from that crap. He can still be the chairman. He can just still sit down as the chairman. Do whatever the fuck he needs to do there. But everything else, let someone else take care of that. Yeah, because if he steps down, man, fuck. All that money will be gone. Because I don't think Vince, if he stepped down as chairman, if you, Clarkson, if you were chairman with the fucking bank account that Vince McMahon has, are you saying to yourself, well, I still gotta put money into this company? Nope, you're like, see you, bye, I'm done. I'm having a nice fucking retirement. $686 million in the bank. So yeah. When Triple H and Stephanie McMahon finally have a son, will they name their son Jesus since he'll be the son of God? Yeah, it'll be Shawn Michaels Levesque. So yes. I'll laugh so hard if he names his child after Shawn Michaels. So yes, it will be Shawn Michaels Levesque. Jay Walker, you are correct. Josh Chambers asks, what if the WWE Network fails? And who would to be blamed if it does? Oh, the WWE Network fails. I would have to say the network fail would have to be blamed on Triple H. Because from my understanding, Vince didn't want to let out the network until this fall. That was to my understanding, that Vince was saying, hey, let's wait till the fall to unleash this network. But it was Triple H who was saying, let's push it to Mania. I want to get this network out now. And he told Vince, with the NXT and all the other stuff we're going to have on there, this would be a booming success. To my understanding, this was all pushed by Triple H to have the network come out in February. So, for me personally, I would have to say it's Triple H who would most likely to be blamed. But there's other people also to be blamed, people behind the scenes who have done such a poor job with the network and putting that with really good content and making it very accessible for a lot of people. Also to the people behind the scenes marketing this damn network. I mean, they haven't really marketed this network very, very well. Like, with Netflix and Hulu Plus, how many times have you guys heard, people plug those on podcasts or radio shows like, oh, make sure you get Hulu Plus now, all your favorite TV shows for $7.99 and all that other stuff. You don't hear that with WWE Network. WWE is not, using like ESPN. Like, they have ties with ESPN, not just with people who work there. They know the people of ESPN. Why don't you say, hey, look, or Mike and Mike, make sure you guys get an ad in there for the WWE Network. They do a terrible job at advertising this thing. They're like, oh, well, it's WWE. Of course you're going to get it. Well, how the fuck am I going to get it if I don't know what's on there? There are sports fans on there that do like professional wrestling. There are. There's some sports fans who probably fell off of professional wrestling, and who knows, maybe if they heard of this network where they can watch old wrestling events, they're like, maybe I would get this actually. I still like wrestling, I just don't watch anymore, and they go all of a sudden buy the network. I mean, you have to market it elsewhere besides your own TV shows. You don't see a commercial for WWE Network at all. I haven't, at least. I haven't seen a commercial on other TV shows. And even with the whole pay-per-view commercials that they have, they don't even say, oh, it's on the WWE Network. Like, they don't even make pay-per-view commercials anymore for the damn pay-per-views to know what's going on the pay-per-view. Remember when you would used to see those pay-per-view commercials? Like, see Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose inside the Hell in a Cell, only on WWE Network. Like, they don't make commercials for it. So it's just like, it also is the advertising team's fault for doing such a poor job at advertising this damn thing. I mean, I'm sorry. You can promote it on your show all you want. You can promote it on sidebars on all these websites. But if you don't have other ways of communicating why you should get this network, it sucks. And that's just my opinion when it comes down to it. And also it's the people who decided, oh, let's not release it worldwide. Let's just release it in America, where wrestling is pretty much dying anyways, and let everyone else fucking wait. So, and I would say mostly Triple H, but also some other people's fault why the network would fail. Shiroro, that's not Shiroro, sorry. My contacts were messing up there. Slapnuts2000 asks, which Q&A asker you has the best username. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be me. I like Slapnuts 2000. I like Real Heel. I like Do Real Heel. I don't know why. That one really flows nice to me. It's easy to say, The Real Heel. So, I don't know. Gochi Man has a good one, too. It's like The Gochi Man. It sounds like a rapper's name, like The Gochi Man. So, it's like a toss-up between you three, but I would have to go with the Gochi Man just because I've been saying it longer than The Real Heel and Slapnuts 2000. Joe Juicy asks, why does the WWE never admit they have a problem and will sometimes find a way to blame the fans and wrestlers for their failures? I believe you asked me this before, Joe Juicy, and here's the reason why. Because that would be make too much sense for the WWE to do that. And the WWE doesn't like to do things that make sense most of the time. Not only with their storylines, but with their own problems and their damn company. Mr. Juicy asks, what do you think of Vince McMahon saying Cesaro just doesn't have it? For me, I thought it was bullshit. And it just showed how much Vince is with his wrestlers and the fans. Yup, it is bullshit. I just don't get it. What charisma is Cesaro lacking? He has good charisma. Like, microphone-wise, Cesaro's not going to put ass into seats. But for being a wrestler, he has it. He has the ability to get people cheering. He knows how to hit his spots very well. He has such a good babyface moveset. How the fuck do you think this guy does not have it? The guy screams superstar to me. I don't know if it's just me, but I look at Cesaro, and even during his freaking indie days, I was saying this. I'm like, this guy is a future WWE champion. This guy is a stud. And this was when he was on the Independents being the ROH Tag Team Champion. I thought this guy was a WWE champion in the making. I just don't get it. I don't understand why Vince just looks at Cesaro and doesn't scream, oh, this guy's a future star. He just says, oh, he doesn't have it. I mean, I love Randy Orton and all, but Vince talked about Cesaro lacking charisma. What the fuck is Randy Orton then? I love Randy Orton. Don't get me wrong. Randy Orton is one of my favorites, but I will not deny Randy Orton is not Mr. Charisma. He's not someone that entertains me because he puts ass in the seats. I just like the way Orton wrestles. The main reason why I like Randy Orton is because I think he's, in my personal opinion, the best person in the ring right now in the WWE. I know people will argue with that, but I think Randy Orton is one of the smoothest to watch when it comes to wrestling. I think he's entertaining for what he does spot-wise in the WWE, and mostly he's always put in some predominant storyline that it's kind of interesting. So that's why I like Randy Orton. I think Cesaro, he's kind of like Randy Orton 2.0. And yeah, so I don't get it. Vince is just an idiot. Matt Gochi asks, what did you think of SmackDown versus Raw feud back in 2005? It was fine for what it was, but it just felt like cheap. It wasn't like we were getting the real Raw versus SmackDown. Like, we weren't getting Batista versus John Cena. That's all I gotta say. That's like one of the main reasons. It's like, you know, if you're doing Raw versus SmackDown, I want champions versus champions. I want Batista versus Cena. That would have been a good time to do like Batista versus Cena 1. I mean, I applaud the WWE for waiting until, what, SummerSlam 2008 to finally do Batista versus Cena, but hell, that would have been really cool for the two fresh faces of the WWE to face off against each other in a big match at Survivor Series. Then you can have a Team SmackDown captained by Rey Mysterio, and then a Team Raw captained by Shawn Michaels. I mean, you could have done so much more with this Raw and SmackDown feud. Like, do actually like dream matches that a lot of people had with some guys on SmackDown, with some guys on Raw that we would never see again. So it was all right, but not really the best thing there was. The Gochi Man asked, how many NXT wrestlers do you think it would take to bury John Cena in a Buried Alive match? Let's see. Okay, if 8 Nexus members could be John Cena. So I can't say 8. So let's see, if 8 Nexus members can't be John Cena, and most of the roster is having trouble getting over to John Cena hump, John Cena and Randy Orton by themselves almost beat the whole Raw roster. Oh. 25. No, scratch that. 40. You need to send even the NXT divas out there. It's all the NXT main wrestlers, the jobbers, and the fucking Divas division has to go out there. And hell, even include NXT alumni. They would even have to be out there to bury John Cena alive. Jake Loomis asks, what if WWE announced the cover of WWE 2K16 next year? It was revealed to be Tito Ortiz on the cover crossing his arm with no one keeping his shit. Yes. Cena buried alive question. Followed by a great Tito one. Yes. This is one of the best Q&As right now. Ever. Of all time. You act like that's a bad thing, Jake, that we get Tito Ortiz gracing our fucking covers. Better than fucking Cena right now, right? Can you imagine? You're like, here's a cover of 2K16. It's like, I was like, what? Who the fuck is that? That would be the funny thing, too. A lot of people would be like, who is that? They wouldn't know it's Tito, but we would know. We would all walk around and say, Tito! Rebecca Olsen asks, what WWE did a WrestleMania Battle Royale with Scott Hall, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Evan Bourne, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, and RVD, and they call each other drunk and... Yes! Who would win? Rebecca took my funniest WrestleMania ever, took Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, and made it 10 times more fucking epic. I'm already liking Rebecca. She's new to this Q&A theme, but she fucking gets it. Okay. Scott Hall will be too intoxicated, so he would fall out of the ring. Jeff Hardy the whole time would be trying to throw his t-shirt out, and then at that point, Evan Bourne will probably trip onto Jeff Hardy, and that will push Jeff Hardy out of the ring. Kurt Angle and Randy Orton would be arguing about something, and RVD, he would probably just be laying down the whole match. He'd probably be just laying in the middle of the fucking ring. Matt Hardy would be the only motherfucker taking this shit seriously. Because Matt Hardy, when he's doped up, he takes shit way too seriously. So after Evan Bourne eliminates Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy goes and eliminates Evan Bourne. Then he eliminates, who else did you say? What? RVD. Like, he just throws RVD out of the ring. Now it's between doped up Matt Hardy versus drunk Kurt Angle versus whatever the fuck Randy Orton feels like doing because he's Randy Orton and he's done it all. Damn it. So then we would have it where Kurt Angle sees an attractive black woman on the outside of the ring. And so thus Kurt Angle gets out of the ring, eliminating himself to go to that black woman and stalk her for the rest of the night. And then, between doped up Matt Hardy versus whatever the fuck Randy Orton's on. I would have to give the win to doped up Matt Hardy. I think Orton would just be too pissed off and too angry, and then someone will say something to him on the outside, mention his DVD or his ex-wife, and you get too pissed off. So yeah, I would have to go with dope up Matt Hardy. Great question, Rebecca. Greg Toomer asks, could Triple H wrestle a broomstick and still draw more than Yes. Oh my god, you guys are on fire. Fire right now. Could Triple H wrestle a broomstick and draw more than TNA? Oh, didn't he come out and open up Raw saying that he could wrestle a broomstick and still, and did a promo on that? And it drew like, what, 3.0 rating, and TNA actually had matches for like 2 hours, and it only drew a 2.0 rating overall, or what? No, what, 1.3 rating overall? So yeah, I think Triple H wrestling a broomstick would actually be more entertaining and outdraw TNA. I mean, think about it here. It'd be kind of fucking funny to watch Triple H wrestle a broomstick. I think it'd be hilarious. I'd be watching my television and be like, what the fuck is he doing? He's like, gonna put you, oh no, the broomstick's on top of me, what? You all kicked out. And then he throws a broomstick in a corner, puts the broomstick up to kick him in the face. Yeah, so I think Triple H could carry a broomstick to a decent 5-star match. So yeah. Good mic work, guys. Do you think us fans are not getting enough John Cena? By the way, this is the fake good mic work for anyone new to my channel. Yes, fake good mic work. I don't think we're getting enough Cena as of late. He hasn't been pissing me off as of late. And sometimes it's funny when John Cena pisses off because it makes it easier for me to do these reviews because I can just bitch about Cena. So yeah, you have a good point there, fake good mic work. Hopefully all of you understood the sarcasm in that one. And John Cool wraps up this Q&A asking, what did you think of the first SmackDown vs. Raw game that came out in 2004? Oh, I thought it was a good game, but a big drop-off from Here Comes the Pain. Like, Here Comes the Pain, great fucking game. But SmackDown vs. Raw, I wouldn't say it was a bad game. It was good for what it had. Like, it had a pretty damn good roster, but besides season mode and, like, pay-per-view mode, not much to really do in that game. I mean, it was just kind of like there. It was just like, okay, you can have all these cool matches, but once you're done, how many times could you do like Batista versus Cena, or like Eddie Guerrero versus JBL, or Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, where you're like, yeah, I'm kind of bored of this game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, besides season mode, nothing really much to offer. And season mode was really, really boring in that game. I'm sorry. Like, how in the fuck is a U.S. title? Like main eventing WrestleMania inside of an elimination chamber. That just sounds something like a little kid would book. Like, I'm gonna have the elimination chamber match at WrestleMania, and the U.S. title's gonna be on the line. Like, it's like some little kid wrote the script to that game. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if Tori Wilson went with you inside the shower? I will say though, SmackDown vs. Raw does have an underrated soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of the game. I thought that was a pretty damn good soundtrack. It transferred over to Day of Reckoning. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for sending in your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Leave your comments down below what you thought about any of the questions. And if you guys like me, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Peace.